One. Welcome everyone into the challenge after show. For the challenge, we've got episode 8 tonight, A Muddy Matter. Super excited to talk about it. I love this episode. Ladies, how are you doing this evening?
Good. Missed you guys
Very
last
good.
week. Yeah.
Happy to
This
have Pam
episode-
back.
Yes, Pam, people were like, where is Pam? You probably read all the comments.
Very glad to be back. This episode was bittersweet for me for obvious reasons, Josh. But overall, a good action-packed episode. I'm excited to dive into this one. Get muddy.
How about you, Jenna?
So Pam, I have a comment on Pam's take about being
Jenna,
bittersweet. So if Josh is going to get his gold skull, wouldn't you kind of want it to be in an elimination such as what we saw? Meaning,
I mean,
the performance
like him
that
making
he
a
gave.
fool of himself, doing something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like I was like, don't pick Josh and Nani because it's such a. I'm sorry, no offense on Michie, but it's like, unless we knew what it was a strength thing. Even though they threw in the puzzle, which I was disappointed in Michie. If Josh didn't win, it's like the same. I don't like Josh or Fessy now, and it's like both of them like won their eliminations. I do think it was hilarious. Devin being like, let's just hope we don't have to. He's like, how about a whole brawl, Devin? Devin's like, yeah, let's just hope we don't have to throw a ball first. I liked that. Devin won me back, and I loved Kyle's extra level of pettiness this whole episode.
So
I mean, it was the most embarrassing elimination, but the most grand celebration. Like the way he acted after. I mean,
so
at this
proud
point,
of himself.
Yeah.
Well, he's lost three. He's lost 3 times before and he solved the puzzle very quickly, which we didn't even think he could ever figure out how to solve a puzzle in general. So he solved one.
Conspiracy corner, Dan.
Yeah.
The last time Josh probably did a puzzle, those are for like 5-year-old, when it's missing the thing. I think literally Michi's too young. Like, Jenna, do you know about those slide puzzles?
Yes, I do know about the sliding puzzles, but I will say,
know about, okay.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like those were like a really early 80s like kind of concept. Like the last time I did one, I was 5, so I think like that's the last puzzle Josh did. So it's like imprinted it on his mind. Like when he was little,
he's so used to it. He had a lot of reps.
You're trying to bail out Michie, is what you're saying as well.
I did think Michie maybe he's too, like doesn't understand the concept because he was rocking. It doesn't seem moronic. Like he wasn't getting that there's gonna be. I mean, like Devin again. I liked Devin tonight. Was like just look behind you. It's a skull. Like just look at the picture behind you.
It's not very hard.
The thing is, I was also going to jump to Michi's defense, although it seems indefensible. But it's not a matter of not knowing what the puzzle is or being so idiotic that you don't know what the skull looks like. It's sliding. And those puzzles are sometimes, if you can't get it, you can't get it. And I'm not very good at puzzles, so I'm going to side with him that if I'm lost and it's not working, I'm not going to solve the puzzle. I know it's a skull, but I don't know how the damn slides are going to fall into place.
I think you got to break it down, and a skull has a curve on each side, and just get them in the corners. I mean, I get you have to slide that piece away for a second, but then I assume the way it works is you'd be able to slide it back pretty quickly afterwards.
I do think Josh is an idiot. So like if Josh could do it,
there you go.
Then it's doable. I do, Jenna, with what you're saying. I totally get this is one of my challenge, like in our tome of the 5 things. This is one I think sometimes if you get in your head in the beginning and like Josh did it just worked out, you're just screwed. Like Michie, like it was like it's not together, you're listening to people.
Yeah, and I have other examples then of why Michie is an awful challenge competitor, which we'll get into. Ladies, let's start with the first song we hear of the night. Does anyone remember what the first song was when they entered?
Power of Love with Cam and Leroy.
One of my favorite songs from the hit movie Back to the Future. Ooh, I was loving it, and a great way to start the show for sure.
Yes. Wonderful. I didn't like note it until you just said it because I was like, that is good. Like Leroy's coming off his win. They're coming back. They're like what we wanted and what they wanted from Cara and Pauly that season. A couple like the cool power couple that's like making moves, but like everyone likes and is doing a good job instead of just dominating with numbers. So yeah, it was nice to see like everyone still likes Cam and Leroy.
And I mean, so let's go on here. So Lolo says, Lolo says that the only reason she hasn't had an opportunity to go in yet is because she thinks that all these girls have masterly planned out the fact that they're not going to put her in because they don't want her to get a gold skull and make it to a final. Although I think that would be a great strategy, we've never even heard of that from any storyline this season. So I don't think it's really going on. I just think that she hasn't gotten voted in. I don't think anything. I don't think anyone planned that out. That's my point. Thoughts?
Right. Isn't that what's crazy though? Because it would be a really smart plan. And
Correct.
it should be something that the girl should put into play. But I think Lolo's kind of shooting herself in the foot at this point because she's a super Olympian, crazy athletic, obviously very competitive. But I think she's starting to freak out because she should have her gold skull by now and she knows it. She hasn't had the opportunity to go in and it's killing her because she knows that she on the surface is more athletic than any of the girls in this house. I mean, again, she's an Olympian. She'll be the first one to tell you she loves bringing up how she competes, what she's like as a competitor, her experience. So we get it. You're an Olympian. And I think now she has a huge chip on her shoulder because she knows, oh crap, I've been here now for however many weeks and I'm kind of under the radar. No one's really been able to see me compete because the challenge is not your specialized sport. So she hasn't been able to shine. So I kind of get, I think she's feeling ruffled and she's almost feeling embarrassed. Like people should really be seeing how she can excel and seeing how athletic she is. But instead, she's not doing anything better than the other rookies.
Yeah, and I just think that the challenge is so much different than being good at one individual sport. Like you bring us someone that's a basketball player, and like what they did with Champs versus Pros when they brought some football players in. Yeah, they've got the strength and they've got some endurance, but do they know how to solve puzzles? Do they know how to, work their socializing in the house to get certain things that they're going to need? It's not just running around a track, Lolo, and you haven't really done much this season. I'm actually a little disappointed. And which brings me to my next point, ladies, is CT comes in when her and Nam are talking, kind of arguing. He's like, get your shit together, guys. You could be one of the most powerful teams in the house. And I'm so happy CT said it because we've been saying it on this Aftershow the entire damn season. And someone finally said it to their faces. And it's so true.
Yeah, stop whining and win. Like they're two arguably the best people there. Win. It shouldn't be that hard, especially as a team. But hold on, before we move on, I gotta say something about Josh.
Well, we haven't even got the Josh yet.
real quick. This was the beginning. I can't help it. I just love to hate him. He was talking about, they were sort of foreshadowing, he was talking about when they were talking about the gold skulls, how like important this would be to him and his family, and that money would change his family's life. You won $1 million on Big Brother. Why weren't you able to change your family's life? Like they're immigrants and they did everything. It's like, you already got $1 million. Was he not able to help their life?
All right, hold on. I mean, not that $1 million isn't a lot of money, because it totally is. But what gets taken out for taxes, first of all? And we don't know his family situation either. They might have been really down in the dumps. How can I
don't know. He's playing nobody knows he already got $1 million.
Well, let's be real. All the competitors come on here every season and say, oh, I'm doing this for my family to get them money, when they might have won in the past too. So
yeah, I don't know. The only person that is like often competing again for $1 million is like usually pretty owns it, like Ashley, or like who's won $1 million on the challenge alone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he does outside of this game though. So if it's an off season, if they're not filming, I don't know what he's doing for an income. If
all you're trying to win is Big Brother and the challenges, I mean, if you don't have another source of income, I mean, that money I assume runs out pretty quick.
Still a struggle.
The odds of somebody doing that. First of all, I need to go back and watch this season because I still do not understand how he could have possibly, unless he like flew under the radar and then at the end won a few things, so like got power. But anyway, because I've watched Big Brother, and again, you have to be kind of likable and savvy. So 2, imagine the odds of any human winning Big Brother and the challenge, like being first place on both of them. I don't think it's ever been done. God, I hope I'm not setting Josh up for some record, but if Josh was that person, it's just everything that was decent and true in this world would be crumbled for me. Anyway, that's my Josh.
Well, and guess what? We have a lot more Josh to talk about tonight, Pam. So this is good. We got a lot of Josh talk for Pam. All right, PT jumps in there. And then we get to the challenge of the evening, which is the all brawl. And finally, not only do we get a great concept for a challenge, but we get great execution, because last week's was awesome, the challenge, but awful execution. So I'm finally excited. I love that there's 3 rounds to this. Ladies, why don't you give me your thoughts, and then we'll move on with what happened.
Yeah, this challenge was so good. They really delivered on this because they gave us 3 different heats. So there were so many layers to this that we got to watch. And I didn't pick up on that in the beginning, because if you watch last episode, you'll realize that I tend to black out when TJ goes through the instructions. I think it's something with like not being able to take instruction or direction my entire life in school and whatnot. So I just tend to like black out whenever it's a really important piece of information I need to listen to. But this one was so good. So the heats keep unraveling, and also it mixes like the best eliminations and challenges from challenge history. Obviously the pole wrestle, the mud wrestling, you have to be sneaky. What was really cool is that it becomes less of a wrestling game, which it still has that element, which is great, but it also becomes more about like a who has it. And now it's just, you have to read.
Element.
Yeah.
They finally came up with something that was this is a great idea. They need to get into their little boardrooms, into their little huddles, and the producers need to come up with more daily challenges like this. I was finally interested, and because to me, the daily challenge should be a major chunk of the episode. And it's just fun, and I love that there could be drama in there, like we're going to find out with Lolo and Aneesa coming up in our next topic. So I'm so happy that they finally came up with something good and super entertaining to watch. I loved it. It was great.
It was great too, and we got to see a lot of people show up this episode that we haven't like seen do anything yet. Like Gabby won her, didn't she win her round? Blonde Gabby.
Yeah.
We got to hear from Amber today. Usual. It was good. I liked it too, and I was so happy for Nam. That was the best. The Nam for me. It was really happy that came through. So did I get weird looking? Why are you guys doing that?
I'm laughing because you're just delayed right now, and it looked really fun.
Your internet was cutting out a little bit there.
I love that in the first female heat that they're obviously at a disadvantage, right? Because they're going first and they don't know what the relic looks like, and they don't realize that the name of the game is just to sneak to the outside and try to take your gamble of sprinting away from everybody, not letting anybody know that you have the relic. So when Nany finds it, it's just absolute chaos ensues. And she has just a natural gut reaction. Yeah. She forgets that she's in a competitive reality TV show for a minute. And she's just like, oh my God, I got it. So that everybody attacks her. Yeah. And I love that everybody is smiling and laughing during this too. It's so hard to take seriously. And then Nany just chucks it off to Cam. And I'm wondering if the teamwork was intentional, or she literally was just so frazzled that entire heat that she was not getting her bearings together.
Well, Cam said that was the dumbest, smartest thing Nany ever did. Like, it was dumb, but that Cam would sort of help her. So
sure. So I don't think she did it on purpose, though, in my personal opinion. I don't think she purposely threw it.
I don't either.
I think she was just trying to get it probably back into the middle of the water so that she could get back, because she knew she was at like a dead end there, basically. But how funny was it that Kyle kind of predicted that Nany was going to get it when he jokingly was like, oh, Nany has it at the beginning, and she obviously didn't yet. And he was just trying to stir the pot. And it was great that she ended up with it. So Kyle, we can see the future. It was something we should think about for future episodes now.
Yeah. I thought for a second she might have just taken a risk, thinking that Cam was her friend in the game. Leroy is one of Nany's best friends since Real World Vegas, which is obviously Cam's boyfriend. So, hey, if I can't win, if I hook Cam up, she won't throw me in.
And then why can't we get more interviews after that heat then and ask her that one question? Because we were all thinking it. Hey, did you mean it towards Cam, or was it just an act of desperation? And I wish the producers would give us more of those interviews. Maybe they have them and just didn't end up using them in the final cut here. But that's something I, as a viewer, would love to know. Yeah.
And that's not like spilling anything. Again, yes, that's a good gameplay. Like, Nany, did you just blank and throw it? I agree.
We don't know. We don't know if it was good gameplay, though, unfortunately. That's what sucks. We don't know.
Well, we can message Nany and say, were you thinking, or was it just a...
Yeah.
But in this heat, we also get Lolo again, Tyrant Part 2 with the whole Aneesa thing. So what did you guys think about that?
Lolo's challenge. Welcome to the challenge, Lolo. Get over yourself. This is not the Olympics. We're not just running around, not touching each other on a track. It's going to get physical. Aneesa, in her defense, I'll defend Aneesa tonight. She barely choked her. It was a little thing. Come on.
She didn't choke her.
Okay, good.
I also praise to Aneesa for keeping her cool, because Lolo, it's like, let this crazy girl just blow off steam. That's why Lolo's not a great partner or a great teammate. But when they kept showing the replay too, like Aneesa was behind her. So obviously, but it's not like she was, I mean, come on.
Pam,
Lolo's about 9 feet taller.
It also showed it in slow motion on purpose to make it look like it lasted longer than it did. It probably,
That's what I'm saying.
dude.
Even that didn't make me think. Like, I'm saying the slow-mo replay was like, well, she came at you from behind to try and grab you, but you're not in the core. She's not choking you. Come on.
Lola was more upset because she wasn't near the relic or whatever the hell they were calling it tonight. So yeah.
Well, again, she's not performing up to her. Like these things should all be hers to lose.
Yeah,
some of it's
exactly.
But
I think Lolo's ego is freaking out right now. I think she thinks she's better than the show. She thought she was going to steamroll everybody, and it's not that she doesn't have the potential to. It's that these aren't games for her to win. So tonight's game was a game that she could have easily won, but it's also a game of luck and just finding the relic in swampy water before everybody else. But I think what happens is when she's not performing well, she just blames everybody else. She can't take accountability. She can't look within herself and think, okay, this just isn't the Olympics. This just isn't a track race. This is some random TV show. Well, not random TV show, but these are random games on a TV show. But she just loves to just blame everybody else because her ego is just freaking out.
And Jenna, she was lucky to even be that close in that because they had the first heat. So no one knew what the hell they were doing. And Nany just kind of picked it up in the middle of the whole thing and started shaking it around. There was no strategy to like trying to hide it. So Lola had a great opportunity to actually win the first heat, just because the opportunity was sitting right in the middle of this mud pile, and she still lost. So yeah.
Yes.
And it sucks too because when Nam goes in the next round, she doesn't even cheer him on. She's just standing on the sideline, still pissed that she didn't win. She's not even cheering for her partner. You should be so happy that you at least have a stake still in the game.
Right, because no one knew how the second round was going to work. And it looked like, you know, if your partner won that second round, then you got to be in the third round and had another chance. So why not cheer on Nam? She's lucky Nam even won. But let's get to Nam. Nam is thinking what I was thinking. I'm like, why do you have to show your cards? We're playing poker here. Keep that thing in the water as long as you can. And just look, no one's going to come at you because everyone's trying to find the thing. Everyone's confused out of their mind. Nam did a great job. I'm sure we all agree on that. So fantastic.
Yeah, and he kind of sets the pattern for now. That's how he goes after it.
Yeah.
And I think I think he did this a few times, but it's obviously like if you find the relic, you also have to stand up and show everybody your hands occasionally so that they see that you're not hiding out underwater.
Trying to throw rocks out. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think people expected Nam to do this because he's always got a good poker face and he doesn't really, I don't know, we don't really see him communicate with the guys too much. So I don't think they have a read on him yet. He's a rookie, has a good poker face. There's kind of a little bit of a language, cultural barrier. So I don't think they would expect that sort of sneaky side from Nam because they haven't seen it yet. Plus he's so nice and likable to everybody.
Agree with that. I think he really did it the right way. Like, don't let on, get close. Those guys had a strategy too. They were trying to block the way. So he waited.
Fessy and Josh were working together, and he had to figure out a way. Fessy dove at him too, and completely missed him. But he was right on him, but he missed. Good for Nam, and boo-hoo to Fessy. Who cares?
Yeah,
I love it.
Just
I got to talk about Michie in this heat. Michie, because I told you I would talk about why I think he's an awful competitor.
Okay.
He literally would stand in the water and he kind of like dipped his hand barely in there to look for it. He didn't want to get wet. He didn't want anything to do with this 3 feet of water. If you can't handle 3 feet of water in the challenge, I'm sorry. I'm out on him. I was so.
Didn't he get DQ'd on the last thing because he was too cold or something?
He went, that was at least he was fully submerged. But yeah, he got DQ'd because he was just too cold. But on this one, he wouldn't even put his body down into the water, just ankle deep. I'm sorry, man. You're in a kiddie pool, bro. Grow up.
Yeah, no.
I guess it's kind of, to your point, like a wasted space of a competitor because there's a lot of people who want to be on the show and would need the money and would be interesting to watch. But there's also something that I really like about Michie. I think I like that laid back, carefree attitude. I didn't notice that he wasn't really trying in this challenge, but I kind of like that he's the person that's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Because I feel like that would kind of be me, you know?
We have that though. Like we have that in Corey. We have that in the other Jenna that, you love Jenna. He does that type of stuff. Yeah, I
but
can't.
At least they can do stuff.
Of course, right, of course.
Michie was really bad, but Jenna, you are not alone because I watched him on the summer show. What is it? Like Date Me? Date in the House.
Yeah,
Date
he was on X on the
Beach.
Peak or X on the Beach.
And
Yeah.
these girls love him. Like
Correct.
I was like, Michie is like got something going on that we certainly can't tell in the challenge. You could kind of see his swagger. But I was like, these gorgeous women were all like, Michie.
Well,
I was like, what is that going on?
Pam,
What?
it's funny you should say that because supposedly we found out in the comments section this past week, if you guys read the comments, that there's a whole storyline of Amber M and Michie hooking up in the house, and they never showed any of it. And my point to that is there's no hookups this season, and there should be some. Their hookup must be pretty damn uninteresting if they refuse to show the one hookup in the house. Therefore, Michie's not even a storyline for that.
Right. I wonder why though.
I don't know, but it's just sad. It's sad.
So you guys watched the X on the Beach season with him?
Yeah.
Was he like a shitty guy on that, or how was he?
He's open, but he's like, I like all the girls.
He was
like,
hooking up with multiple, yeah. He hooked up with multiple girls. Yeah.
Didn't he have a girlfriend that he lived with for like ever, and then another? Or am I confusing his story with someone else's? And then there was another girl he fell in love with there, and then all the girls. He just really liked all the ladies. They really liked him.
He was he wasn't
perfect for X on the Beach.
Was like, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So,
I highly doubt he'll be asked back on the challenge. I do not see
Oh
it.
no, he's not a good challenger.
He's not. He can't. I mean, he didn't even finish the puzzle. Like, who's gonna be like, oh great, he's back. Maybe he'll finish a puzzle this season. No one cares.
No, he's not good. Agreed. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. The puzzle thing was tough. I was disappointed because I actually think if he was able to do the puzzle, he actually would have given Josh a run for his money. He could have beat Josh easily. You saw how bad Josh was at throwing the balls at the targets. But even if it wasn't a puzzle, I feel like he looked shifty. He looked quick. He looked athletic. I mean, who knows? He could have been surprisingly good. This just was not the elimination for him.
It's interesting you say that about him if he could finish the puzzle. I'm wondering if he would have ran into the Tori situation where when he pulled the thing, he wasn't strong enough to get it to dump over. I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a great time to bring this up, but a question I've always had is we always see them work out, rightfully so, got to stay in shape. But I'm also thinking, wouldn't you be sore for half of the competitions that you're doing? If you're lifting your shoulders and your arm before a daily challenge or an elimination, you're not going to be able to compete as well. I've always had that thought.
Jenna, to answer your question, you're doing that before you get to the challenge every day, doing a different muscle group every day. And then when you're on the challenge, you're doing it on the off days. You would never do it on the morning of a daily challenge. You want to be well rested. You do it maybe the day before or even 2 days prior to give your body a day of rest. But no, you would still be working out like they show, but never on.
But you're the most sore the day after or 2 days after. You're not going to be sore the day of.
Maybe one day after for sure. But if your body is used to working that muscle group every day for 6 months to a year, you're the next day you're fine, or the next day after is what the day after.
Damn, tell that to my legs because they find a way to be sore every damn day.
Clearly, you work out harder than I do, Jenna. So this is the facade, lady. This is the facade right here.
But you found a way to stuck it in there, so everyone knows that you're always been present.
Well, I don't have my pull-up bar is not in it though. I could have my pull-up bar in it next week.
I got lost today and got my 10,000 steps in, trying to find my way home.
So. Oh well, hey, look at that. There it is, right there.
Getting lost for exercise.
So round 3, we have Gabby with a big win. Congratulations to her. And then in round 4, we get CT. And I have a question about this, ladies. When CT is walking and saying, and people are like, he's dragging it with his foot. Was he really? Or
I think he was.
Right after? Okay. Because then if he did, he made an amazing move. He's like, come over and check, guys. He must have moved it a little further away from Leroy, because Leroy couldn't find it when he came to investigate.
Yeah.
So even more props to CT if that is what really happened, because that was amazing to me.
Yes, I do think that is what really happened, and I don't know how he was fooling anybody. I also had the thought, same thing as the last challenge with the guys when they had to hang on the balls above the water. I'm just thinking CT is so much bigger than everybody. Can he pretty much just stand up and they're not really going to take him down? But I guess it's 4 guys And he wants to make it as easy as possible for himself. So I understand still sneaking around, trying to get as close to the exit as possible. But I was like, CT, no one wants to smoke with you. Like, you're probably going to win.
Still, 4 dudes
Still
on him,
want
though.
them
4
all.
dudes on him might take him down. 4 dudes.
Yeah, 4 dudes.
If one
I
guy
wish we saw it,
up,
though.
then another guy piles on top. Each have guys piling on top.
Plus, you
I
just
still
want to make
feel
it,
like he
you want to
could
give
win.
yourself the best odds.
Yeah,
I
for
think,
sure.
yeah, smart and
Yeah.
strong are what's going to get you.
So we get CT versus Nam, and we get Gabby versus Cam. CT versus Nam. I know that CT is the vet and everything, and I knew that he knows strategy a lot more than Nam does coming in blind. But I thought Nam was going to win it just based on the fact that all this dude does is work out. But then I overestimated that because it's all about strategy, and CT had it.
And
So,
CT got him in a position. He said, I got him right. I mean, he can't get out. He's
Yeah.
cornered, basically.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
CT's on top of him. So just knowing how to do that. Most people don't know how to do a hall brawl, a brawl stick, and CT does.
Well, that's
know,
you
most people
have
don't have
Lolo.
Right.
Have Lolo coming in. You got Nam coming in, who's like a professional bodybuilder. But you got to know how to play these carnival games. And
Right.
what kind of games you want to call them? They have to know how to do this, which is why they should all be watching the show prior.
Yeah.
But even Lolo was on Champs versus Pros or whatever the hell that show was called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She did well
unfortunately,
on that, so
I don't think Nam has ever woken up in the morning and is like, let me just go pole wrestle a 300-pound man in my backyard in muddy
Well,
waters.
I mean, the dude is jacked out of his mind. I'm sure he does some funky workouts, but that is probably not one.
It was a good competition, at least.
Yes.
Like, yeah, Nam certainly gave him a run for his money, but at the end of the day, it's like if you play tic-tac-toe every day and you play tic-tac-toe, it's like not even that you have to be so good at tic-tac-toe, but if you know the trick, if you're tic-tac-toe savvy, you're gonna win.
Yeah, CT has done this for years. You know what sucks about this is that if Nan won, which he almost did, then it would have been Lolo versus Cam, which would have just been so much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Because let's get to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unfortunate because obviously none of us gave Big T a chance. I didn't even give Gabby a chance in the prior round either. I just knew that Cam was going to destroy them both. But it does suck because I would have loved to see it if CT had a Lolo with him or something, even a different partner to go against Cam. And they opposites kept winning every time. CT would have given more effort, thinking, well, maybe Lolo can get her in a second round or something like that. Because CT, obviously, as we saw, we all agree that CT gave it up for Kyle because he's like, dude, Big T's never going to win. I don't want to do this all night. It's freezing, whatever. I don't blame him.
I think CT gave it up. He winked. He knows. Everyone knows.
Of course.
I know. I just wanted to see if you girls agreed with that. Yeah.
I also enjoyed Devin's talking head. He's like, all right, Kyle, calm down. We all know it went something like this.
Well, that's why Kyle did the big laugh in the confessional because he knew it was bullshit too.
Oh,
also, what did you think? What did you think about CT's reaction when he freaked out? I get why he freaked out, and I understand he was probably gassed up. He thought he won. So his emotions are real and warranted, and it was a live reaction. But I wasn't really expecting it because I kind of just took it at face value. Like, oh, these are the rules now. This is kind of cool as a viewer. And then you see CT's explosion next to Big T, him basically shitting on her while she's next to him. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah, she was super understanding about it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame her for being super understanding because she really hasn't proven herself too much to be like, yo, CT, but I did this really well. Like, she doesn't have a comeback for it. I do feel bad that he definitely, I mean, he shit on her right in the confessional out right.
Yeah.
But I thought he was sweet. I thought he did a good job. Well, first of all,
I think he realized how bad he said it though, Pam. I think he realized what he said was pretty rude. So then he took a couple steps back and said, well, I couldn't beat Cam either. Right.
Which I thought was a really sweet, actually, to temper it. It's like hell at this point. No, I feel bad for CT. This is $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, you're no longer in a position. So it was male, female now. And it's like, your team has to, like, that is, I get that he'd be like, that's fucking stupid. They did show, he's like,
hey, Pam, you know why I don't feel bad for CT?
Why?
Because he could have had Cam as a partner to be in the first episode of the goddamn season.
Yep. I agree. But I did think he said what he said and it was pretty crappy, but even Big T's got to be like, yep, not gonna beat her. I mean, it's not like he was rude. He was just kind of stating the truth in a frustrated manner. And then I did think he was cute. But he's like, hell, I don't know if I could be. I did think that was nice to mitigate the rudeness.
Right.
It's like, And I think he did the right thing. It's like, I'm not going to freaking go at this all night with Kyle, who, and I loved Kyle. This was my other favorite moment of the night when Cam was like, well, you beat him once before at this. And he's like, there were two guys, like admitting finally.
Do we
Like,
remember?
no, they wouldn't have beat CT alone.
The third guy a guy we've never seen before? I wrote it down to look up before I got on with you. Who was the third guy? Anyone remember? Because it was a three-way.
A big guy like Rogan, someone like that. Or
Was it
Gus.
Rogan?
Gus, is he the handsome one that
It was one. It's someone like a Gus, Pam. You're close, or you are correct. It's yeah. Uh-oh, Pam's internet.
Okay. You guys are close.
Pam, we got to get
You're
you on the internet.
frozen.
Anyway, let it go. Let it go.
Yes,
Wait, I
so-
wanted to say something about Big T because she is just so consistently optimistic week in, week out after being on this show. It never gets to her. I am inspired by her like, self-confidence and her self-awareness. She just knows who she is, owns it, and loves it. And I love that she just laughs at the fact that CT is dragging her because it doesn't bother her, like it's not like she's going to live and die by her reputation about how well she can compete on the challenge. She knows she's not going to beat Cam. Someone's freaking out about how she's not going to beat Cam next to her. And she just smiles and laughs and walks away. I'm like, Big T, I really wish I could just be more like you.
Yeah.
I completely agree, Jenna, but I also would love if she went home this season because I think that she will get invited back. And I'm not saying I want her to be jacked up or anything like that, but maybe work on endurance, maybe work on puzzles, work on the swimming, work on the things that she can control because she's never going to be the strongest. So if she came back and said, oh, I've been just doing brain teasers all the time, I've been running 8 miles a day, whatever the hell it is, I would be like, oh my God, this is someone that really cares about performing for us as a fan and herself.
And Teresa's tiny too, isn't she? Like, there's a lot of little girls that are still good competitors. Like, isn't Teresa quite small? Isn't she?
No, Teresa's pretty tall.
She's taller. She's taller. Yeah.
She's taller. Yeah, no, I agree, Dan. That would be really cool. Actually, she just came back like ripped, determined. Like all of a sudden, this like monster of an athlete.
I mean, don't we want to see that? Because like,
yes,
we take this show so seriously. We want to root for people that take it seriously as well and want to perform for us as a viewer. That's all I'm saying.
And people have done so. People have like gone like Rogan, who boffed out on the first, and work on the things they're not good at. Yes. Leroy said he was practice swimming. He's been practicing swimming. It's something that if you're going to be a regular challenger, it's certainly something worth investing in.
Yeah, Cara came back one time and said she practiced swimming and then didn't know how to swim again or something. I remember that.
Yeah, Polly was screaming at her.
Oh, Cara, man, a good Cara and Polly talk. Nothing less than that, right?
Oh, yeah. We're back to where we started. Deja vu when they just take over our conversations.
Challenge season 32.
Back to CT Big T. I did think also there, we know that it was cute, their conversation in the igloo. Is that what we'll call it? The like bar?
I call it the party tent.
Oh, the party tent.
Oh, I like that.
Party tent. Okay. Well, it's kind of a dome, so I think the igloo should be in for consideration.
Sure.
But and CT was like, "No, we're partners." Like I sort of believed him. I do think he's like, there's things that because of her tininess work for them, and I think it's not. I think they would, if they could get to a final. I think that they would have a sort of a shot, depending on what she's good at.
Ooh,
but I'm calling bullshit on his pinky promise.
Oh,
I don't
really?
I don't think
so.
Gonna stay partnered with her the entire season if he doesn't have to be.
That's what I thought was so sweet. That maybe he's realizing, no, it is good for me to have.
He's gonna make it up and go to Cam in a heartbeat if he has the opportunity to.
Yeah, I think he'll switch it up. I kind of call bullshit on that pinky promise.
Oh.
So, ladies,
not that I want him to, but I mean, I was kind of like, yeah, right, CT. But we'll
really?
see. I hope he proves me wrong.
Okay.
Cam and Kyle talk after this whole challenge, and I love what Kyle wants to do. Kyle is pissed off at Fessy, wants to get back at Fessy, and he wants to throw Josh and Nany in against them. I wish that happened. I think we all wanted that because then, of course, you wanted it, Pam, because then Josh probably goes home. But I just think it would. I mean, I just don't understand what the hell the point of voting Michie and Amber M is. Why why give them an opportunity to even get a gold skull? They're like, why do you want them in a final? I don't know. I was just mad. I was like, this is a lame.
Because I also don't understand. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. So so Josh got the last gold skull. So
no, it's for the guys, and they can still steal. So it's a bunch of crap, actually.
But there's a finite amount. Like there are only that amount.
There's only 5 for boys, 5 for girls. Pam froze in a sweet face.
Okay, so if the logic of Amber and Michie is that people feel they could beat them. I'm surprised. I don't understand, again, and we've gone through this before, why everyone wasn't going, dude, put me in. If it's your friends like Kyle or Corey and Kyle are cool, right? Or are they not?
Yeah.
I don't know. But why he wasn't saying, hey, if it's Amber and whatever, and Michie, put me in. Like,
right.
Why weren't people trying to get in?
Which is why I think the producers didn't show us until the elimination who actually got voted in. That was the first time they've done this season.
Yeah.
Show us. And I wonder if that's the reason they did it, because there's probably a ton of dialogue where Kyle and Cam know, and they probably went around and talked to everybody like, hey, dude, I got a layup for you. What are you going to give me in the long run?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they settled on Josh and Nany. Are they super close with Josh and Nany? I was going to ask you, ladies, what's the reason that Josh and Nany made that cut?
Not a threat. I think, like, honestly, it's almost
because you have CT, Darrell, you have Nam, and you have Corey, who still don't have a gold skull that could also have been options for them to go in tonight. I don't know.
Well, I guess you could think about it this way. So if Leroy, Fessy, Kyle, they have their gold skulls, you could, I guess, argue that Devin and Josh are the lesser of the competitive men who have their skulls. So maybe the more competitive men want to keep easier guys in the final for them.
Yeah, you don't want CT getting a gold skull. Maybe you want Corey, but if you have to pick someone,
why did they all vote for Michie? Why did the entire house basically vote for Michie, who's a friggin' layup as far as I'm concerned?
Because if they got voted in, they would win.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right, you want to go against the easiest, and then I think that why Cam and Kyle, because I don't think that Cam and Kyle are particularly close with Nany and Josh. So
I think Cam might be just because of Leroy, because that's Leroy's girl.
Yeah. But I think it was just like, if we're going to have someone beat these people, we're not that threatened by Nany and Josh in a final.
Right.
Yeah, it could have been such a more epic final, or elimination, I should say.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. They should start to get good, though, because at this point now they want to probably pick off the big people that have gold skulls. So Fessy will go back in.
The who's the weakest guy competitor now? I guess we're going to go with Josh in theory.
Or Devin.
Or Devin, because you've got CT, Darrell, Nam, Corey that don't have them, and you got Fessy that has one still, and you got Kyle that has one still, and Kyle always comes to play, even though he's all talking jokes around a lot. When he gets in there, he's ready to play. I think it's going to be really, really fun. Really fun the next couple.
I'm excited to see how that's going to go down, the stealing.
Yeah. So I have thoughts on Amber M and Michie. I guess to everybody's point, there isn't really a reason to put them in yet, because they might be easier competitors in the final. Maybe you keep them around to that point. But I've just been kind of annoyed by Amber M a little bit this entire time, because I feel like
Little Amber
M, yeah, I don't want her to annoy me, but for some reason I feel like she's a little too comfortable for it being her rookie season. Like, I get it, girl. You gotta get your paycheck. Of course you want to stay episode after episode. I totally get trying to beat the system. You've dodged every bullet. Good for you. However, you also have to accept that you're gonna have to go in, and no rookie ever gets this amount of free shots like you're getting. And I feel like every time she approaches deliberation, or every time her name is in the mix, she is just like so wrongly offended, or tries to weasel her way out. She feels too comfortable or entitled to now never have to go in. And it's like, girl, you still have to go in. Like, you were a rookie that has not done anything. Like,
well, let's talk about that, Jenna. Let's talk about that. The beginning of the deliberation, Michie and her both come up and say, nah, we don't want to go in this week, but maybe another week. We'll think about it. It's like, you don't watch the damn challenge, do you? You don't get to just pick and choose when you want to go in or not. And you know what's really sad is on Are You the One? I loved Amber. I thought she was awesome. She was fun. She was cute, great personality. And now I am the total opposite on the challenge. I don't know what happened. I can't stand her now. Super
Okay.
disappointed.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I
same
think
thing.
she's a little jerk, but I like it. Like I'm kind of here for it. You know what I mean? She's like a little. It's like excuse me, but I think it's adds some you know. Yeah, she seems kind of like you know, a brat, but I like it because
Yeah.
at least they've got some numbers this time with the cookies. So it's like, yeah, I don't mind it because she's got to defend herself every week. She's almost put in. So
Yeah, no, that's a good term that you used. I think she is just a little bratty. Like,
yeah, she's a
but that
brat.
kind of annoys me that she goes into it with her that comfortability. Like at deliberation in front of all these people, you're gonna have the audacity to say, like, I don't want to leave yet. And it's like,
Right.
who is you?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, and the whole thing with Tori, like you said you wanted to go against me because I'm small. It's like, well, yeah, like that was. It's like,
You're
duh.
small.
That's
Yeah,
game,
duh.
small, right? That's not a.
So I kind of wanted her to get her ass kicked, but she didn't even get to go in.
Well,
Yeah.
first of all,
I-
if it was a girls' elimination, I don't think she would have been able to pull out that crate of balls over. There's no way. I'm not.
I don't know. I think it's all about the like. I think it's all about. I don't think it's actually that it's so heavy because I don't think Aneesa is a muscle woman. I think it's literally just about hitting it at the right speed with the right. I think it's just getting it right.
Yeah. Lolo and Aneesa, they have a little talk to make up, and I have one word to describe that talk: boring.
Okay, can we guess?
What's that?
What's the word?
Should we guess? Did you
I
say the
said it.
word yet?
I said
Oh.
boring. Boring.
Oh.
Oh,
I thought it was really sweet. I thought Aneesa was nice and saying like, look, you know, I'm not trying to kill you. And I do think Lolo, I liked that actually. Lolo was like, yeah, like I might have freaked out a little
To
bit.
me, it was like so expected though, because really I didn't think Aneesa really did that much wrong, and Lolo just needed some time to cool down. It was like, yeah, that's a storyline I didn't even need. Like, I don't even want to know that you apologized. I want you to still like. I want there to be like a kind of a rivalry between you two, that you're mad at each other.
Yeah.
Like it, you know.
oh yeah.
I want to keep that going. Now I know you guys made up, and you guys, okay, like why?
I see what you're saying. I think Aneesa is way too mature for that. Unlike Lolo, whose ego is like wilding out right now, I feel like Aneesa has her ego very much in check, and she's just very mature, and she knows that she upset somebody. That's not even about her. She knows that she didn't even really do anything wrong, but she needs to reassure that person that she wasn't intending to hurt them. And it's also smart because you want Lolo on your side.
Yeah.
So you might as well just make sure there's no bad blood. I guess, right? I don't even know at this point. I think Lolo's just shooting her game in the foot. So I don't even know if she's like worth fighting to keep in your corner.
I mean, poor Lolo though. If there was like, I would love like have an analysis show about her because she is fascinating. She is the roughest softie, like or soft, like so sensitive. You know, literally even her face. Then she's like, yeah. And then it's like Aneesa's the first girl that really talked to me. Like poor Lolo is dealing with a hard exterior and a very sensitive inside. But yeah, she needs to, I think, simmer down a little bit, and I think she did, and she realized it. But based on the way she was on the Challenge Pros Champs, she could have maintained the crazy and been like, no, you tried to choke me, I hate you. Because who knows? She doesn't seem very consistent.
It would have definitely given her some more screen time, but she decided to not hold the grudge. Let's get into the crater. They're doing that asset destruction game again, but they're doing a men's version. So they add more weight, and they say, hey, let's do a puzzle. And we find out it's going to be Michie and Amber M. And then we find out, like I was asking you girls before, why they chose Josh and Nany. I still don't really know. There might have been some storylines of people trying to say, hey, we've got your back if you put us in against this layup, but we don't know. So what did you think? I mean, we kind of talked about it. Michie can't put a puzzle.
TJ laughing at Josh was just my everything. I mean, Josh.
But Pam, can you at least give Josh props for solving the puzzle very quickly? See, she can't do it. Jenna, she can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I don't know. I don't have the conspiracy carved out yet.
You're like Lolo being able to accept her own responsibility.
I don't know. You guys really think?
I'll give you your
pieces,
conspiracy.
and it was done.
You want
I
your
feel like they like handicapped it for him, and like
the conspiracy, Pam, is that they put the puzzle like 2 notches away from being right for Josh, so he could.
Right. It was like literally
She
like.
believes that. She believes that too.
Oh,
Jenna. That's
really,
fine.
I feel like you guys don't. You really think like Josh was just super good at it?
I just think they put. No, I think he got lucky. I think they put the puzzle in the same spot for both players, and he just made it. He made one proper move where Michie went one wrong way with it, and Michie's got extra mixed up, and Josh just lucked into it being perfect. Like that's all it was.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
for the amount of time that Josh screwed up throwing the balls at the target, that Michie could have solved the puzzle, and the fact that he didn't was just like absolutely mind-blowing. I know it's like a lukewarm take because we all feel that way, but it's like you had so much time. The fact that you couldn't finish the puzzle sucks.
I thought 100% that I was like, oh my god, and then I was like, yes. You know, when he started throwing, I was like, Michie's gonna fit. This shit gonna come. I'm gonna tear it apart. Like, or I thought Josh was gonna, because it was like you just memorize the ones that are in the space of where that Josh would totally screw that up.
Well,
you
ladies,
just throw all the balls.
I'll throw a conspiracy to you. I think that they showed Josh throwing the ball a bunch of extra times, but they had some repeats in there to make it look worse than it was. I'm sure he messed up 3 or 4 times. I think that they repeated some shots, some different angles we didn't see, so we couldn't tell. There's your conspiracy. I bet Josh goes on to Twitter or Instagram Live tonight and says, I only threw it bad like 3 times, guys. So there you go.
He had a pile of balls in front. I mean, there was one that I was like, oh man, he literally, I'm sure they gave it some creative editing. I agree, but there was a whole sad pile of balls in front of him.
I really hope they didn't though, because for me, it was real. For me, it was authentic. Every time I saw him hit the metal again and again, I never thought like, okay, this is getting out of hand. This editing's ridiculous. I was like, oh my God, he did it again. He did it again. It was true for me, okay? It was real for me.
It was real for me. Oh, Jen, it was real for me too. I'm with you.
The fact, like, Josh just was throwing the ball so poorly, just so unathletically.
And again, he just feels so proud of himself at the end of this. Like I can't believe my big challenge win. It's like, oh my God.
It wasn't a close one, Josh. The other kid, Michie, couldn't even get close to it. So you basically had no pressure. But in the long run, a win's a win, and this dude got a gold skull. And there's 4 people left that are much better competitors, I feel personally, than Josh, that got nada right now. And they got to figure out a way to get down into that crater. And all Josh has to do is try to sit back, relax, and try to hide. But he's probably the weakest one, so he's going to keep thrown back down, I believe.
So who are the 5 better? CT, Nam, Corey,
and
Darrell. And who's 5?
No, those ones that don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest of them do, yeah.
5 have it.
And this just makes it an extra hard pill for CT to swallow, because this is actually a scenario of him losing simply because of his partner. Because everything that was individual today in the challenge, he won straight up. Yes. He would have had power. He would have been in against Michie.
He would have put
he would have kicked his ass, kicked anybody's ass.
Right.
And it was simply actually because of
why didn't CT say to the house then, vote me in? I want to go in. Vote me in.
Right.
Because CT loves sitting on that damn fence. I don't get it. This should have been the night where he's like, I'm ready to go in. Put me in. Or maybe he did. Maybe he did, and they didn't want to give him a guaranteed gold skull.
But then even after that, telling Kyle and Kit, if I'm not the house vote, like, please put me in.
But just do Kyle and Cam want to
do anything? It's like, you need to get that gold skull.
Yeah, I agree. But like, I think Josh, as far as the guys that didn't have a gold skull, maybe they put Josh in because they thought he had the least likely amount of chance to beat Michie.
Yes. Exactly. It would be the closest game, or the least likely. Again, if he won, it's like the least threatening.
Correct.
Oh, but did you catch the subtle shade Fessy threw at Josh? He's like, yeah, maybe everyone thinks, you do okay in the daily challenges, but you can never win a final.
I thought Josh was going to freak out about that, but he kept his cool, because Josh is kind of like a ticking time bomb if you say anything slightly insulting or critical to him. So when Fessy said that, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna freak.
But Fessy's his big brother guy, and he's so
Right.
loyal. Like what Josh was just, I'm loyal to anyone that's big brother. So I can't see him getting super fired up. But then he got mad at Jay one time. He's got mad at other big brother people at times. So maybe he would.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. But Fessy,
I have a hot.
I'm sorry, go on.
I have a hot take.
It's so hot.
think Pam knew Josh in real life and not just on the show. Pam would be friends with and like Josh.
No way.
I really don't think so. I hate to get, this is my petty. I don't have a lot of friends that wear turtlenecks and chain necklaces. So this is not to say that we wouldn't be, and that's not a reason at all, because I don't mind. But I don't know on what common ground he and I would necessarily.
I'm gonna wear a turtleneck here next week with a chain, and then I gotta find a turtleneck.
Two
He
turtlenecks.
really went at his turtleneck just now.
I mean,
how can you avoid it? He comes in all those interviews with the turtlenecks. And
But
also,
Isn't this not the year of the damn turtleneck?
and obviously, I will say, I'm no fashionista. Well, Matt James, The Bachelor, currently, I'm like, I guess turtlenecks are in. I guess I'm gonna have to deal with turtlenecks. Like,
can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
I actually had a turtleneck on before
You should have worn it.
it's so cold in my house.
Did you dangle your necklace like
And I
style over the turtleneck?
So as soon as you said that, I was like, damn, Pam can't be my friend anymore. I lost her.
It's different. It's a look. No, that's not why I wouldn't be his friend. I don't know. You never know, because again, I understand. And to our friends and viewers, like when it's like, oh, you hate them, we're responding to the character that is portrayed to us on TV.
Yeah.
He could be the best guy in the world. Even if I watched Big Brother, I might decide that I liked him if I saw his Big Brother.
It could be an Amber M situation where I loved her on Are You the One and I don't like her on the challenge. Who the hell knows?
Yeah. And
But,
sometimes it goes.
Speaking of one last thing on Josh and Fessy, Fessy did throw more shade at him tonight in a confessional. He said, dude, he's like athletic, but he's clumsy. He's athletic, clumsy. And he's not wrong. Fessy is correct. He is kind of clumsy athletic for sure. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Ladies,
Yeah, I feel like he almost doesn't know like how to handle his body weight because he's very tall, very strong, and he's just like falling over his feet.
ladies, I know you don't like spoilers, but it is trivia next week. Exciting trivia.
Oh, goody.
Best. Who
ladies,
else feels really stupid during the trivia episodes?
Not me. I feel smart. I do. I'm
I
excited.
feel pretty
I want to get more right. I love getting them right.
Go off.
Yeah.
Ladies, do you have any more comments on the eliminations tonight? Because I have one little news and gossip, and not much though.
I just want to see Josh on a loop and TJ laughing for like, that'll just make me so happy. Yeah.
I could
TJ
absolutely watch elimination like for the next 4 days in a row and laugh every time.
Yeah. And Fessy, by the way, back to liking, I liked so much on Big Brother and do not like anymore. So it's always possible to change, but I will stand by 4 seasons of Josh and after shows and everything. I just, it's like, maybe they keep him around because it's fascinating. It's like, really? Like he really is so proud of himself for this win. And it's like, okay, it's interesting to me.
So ladies, here's my news and gossip. It looks like Lolo has made the World Championships team. Don't really know what that means. I assume it's good. She says, I still cannot believe the turnaround my season has had from barely making the USA team because I was coming in from a reality show, being in alternate races to now being one of the final 2 that will rep the US at Worlds.
Lolo,
Good
this is
for her.
sorry. Oh.
Lolo.
In what her
No, it's Amber M.
No, it's Big T.
It's
Big
Cara
T.
Maria. It's Cara Maria in there for the CrossFit Olympics.
Been an
No,
old,
ladies, it's Shailene. It's Shailene.
Shailene.
That's incredible for Lolo. Listen, I know earlier I said she loves to bring up that she's an Olympian because it does seem a little bit like it's the topic of conversation that the only thing she ever talks about is her athletic Olympic career. But in her defense, that is it.
That's
you know,
right.
like
You have to, that has
Athletes-
to be your life, Jenna, if you're going to do that. You can't have a life besides trying to get into the Olympics.
Exactly. And athletes at this
Yeah.
level live and die by the success that they have in their sport. And sports psychology is just such a true thing where it's like their egos, their self-esteem, everything relies on their success in the sport. And it's like absolutely crushing and deflating if they don't succeed. It's their entire life's work, everything they worked for. So I understand that she's like super sensitive to that. So this is really great that she made this team. So good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Like super good for her. Yeah, I wish her success. I mean, like, yeah, she's.
Yeah. Final thoughts, ladies. Final thoughts.
I feel really bad for Jay from last week. That's all my last week. I feel like he got really the raw deal of Teresa's shenanigans. That's all.
Yeah.
And yeah, Josh, I can't wait for someone to steal that skull. Woo! I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't entirely understand.
You'll just get voted in.
I'm excited for this.
Look, if you vote in someone with the skull, if you somehow get someone in with a skull and then you go in without a skull, you just boom get their skull. That's going to be as simple as that, I think.
Well, what if 2 non-skull people were voted in though? Like, how is it going to work? How is the voting going to be?
That is crazy. Now you're right. I have
right.
No idea.
There's going to be. It's going to have to always be someone's going to have to defend their skull, or.
I'm here for it. I don't know I don't know what I'm in for, but I'm here for it. I'm very excited.
They should just play a big game of capture the flag, but make it capture the skull and just try to literally actually steal everybody's skull.
There you go.
That's stupid. I was kidding, Pam. Jeez,
I'm not. A capture the flag was always fun growing up.
No, it's not a bad idea. I'm just thinking like it's not enough of a skill set. They'd have to maybe do other things to get them vote, but it's not a bad idea.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to do it though, because they are going to have to shake up the current.
Well, you know what? Maybe our viewers should tell us in the comments below what they think is going to happen with that. And I bet we get some good comments. Ladies, we went over 100 comments again last week. It's very exciting. Let's try to do it again this week, viewers. We love you. We love that you watch us every week, and it's fantastic. Even the hater comments, I like them too. I even comment on those. So.
Smash that subscribe.
Yeah, we gained 1 fan and lost him very quickly last week.
Oh, that was great. Jen and I both comment. Don't worry, it's all the way at the bottom, Pam. If you want to view it from last week,
okay,
it's great.
I will. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We love
you guys.
Yes, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We'll be back next week for episode 9, whatever the heck that's going to be called. We will be here for it. Be sure to comment and like, and
smash that subscribe.
Maybe we get no dislikes this week for once. That would be cool. That would be amazing. But yeah. So, anyways, see you guys later. We'll see you next week, and peace.